Welcome back to Rupeethon! Alright, so we're continuing our journey. I'm Sleeves, a tactician. Well, actually I'm Steve, but I'm Sleeves today. And I'm here with Lynn, and also my dog Stella. She's just kind of lying on my lap because it's a nice, cold, rainy Sunday. It's a nice little... It's one of those, I don't know, it's like the feeling of just cozy or comfy inside. You know that it's really cold out, but you can hear the rain. I don't know if you could pick that up on the mic, but it's kind of pattering against the window. Something really just calming about that. I like it. And we're off to Bulgar, because we're off to, I guess, avenge her parents? Maybe take over the world? I'm still going to harp on that for a bit, just to make sure that she hears me. So this is chapter 1. We did the prologue last time, which was very, very scripted, but now we're actually going to get into some gameplay, which is a lot of fun. But we are going to get a little bit of cutscenes, so we're going to meet some fun characters here today. And, well, I won't say that Fire Emblem has the best writing. Well, I wouldn't say that this is the best Fire Emblem either. It's definitely nostalgia for me, and why I like it so much. Oh, first. Wait, oh beauteous one! Thanks. Oh man, that's quite a line. I wouldn't say the dialogue is the best either. There are, I would say, Sacred Stones and maybe even Path of Radiance are far better in terms of plot and writing, but especially this game at least, I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely up there in terms of quality. It's just Fire Emblem hasn't really been known for amazing plots or brilliant characters, but you do get a lot of gems in there. A lot of really good characters standing out. Sane here, not so much. He's a bit of a straight-up playboy, but that's okay. I like his smooth-talking, failed attempts to win over Lynn. But yeah, when you have a lot of characters, like 30 or 40 some odd characters, they're gonna start to rely on tropes a bit, which is fine. They make good use of it. You do get some really deeper characters, especially in this game, which we'll meet them later, that just, I don't know, something about them just maybe latch onto them as favorites. And I can't tell if these guys are brothers or they're just fellow knights. I think they're just friends, but I mean, they could have different color hair and be brothers, but I think they're just polar opposites that are on the same mission. But yeah, I think it's something like Fates, the most recent non-Warriors Fire Emblem that came out. It's something like almost 100 characters between the 3 games. And that's just a lot of characters to write and develop personalities for, because when you write a character, you can't just... A lot of people that write these characters, either they think of, what was this character like in X series or Y book? That could be a lot of the basis, which is fine. I mean, who at this point is very original anymore? But really, it's just they don't think through on the personalities so much, or they just work with tropes. Tropes are not bad. I mean, they make for fun characters. Like Sane here, I wouldn't say he's the most original character, but he's definitely a lot of fun. It's just, there was a really good book I read. I wouldn't say I subscribe to the whole Briggs-Myers test of personality, but I believe it's, I can't remember the author's name. I'll put it in the comments if I can. But the book is called Please Understand Me 2. I guess there was a Please Understand Me 1. But it kind of just describes, it's a psychology book, and it just describes generally the whole Briggs-Myers methodology and the different archetypes you get out of all the results and what they mean, how they interact. It's a very positive book. It doesn't say any one type is wrong, and I don't think there is any wrong type, you could say. I don't like that kind of test because I've taken it multiple times and I've gotten multiple results within similar time frames. It's just how you ask the questions can kind of lead people, I feel. It's also very situational, who I'm talking with. Sometimes that can change, I guess. Oh, we're being pursued. Uh-oh. But yeah, it was a really good book in terms of writing, just because if you want to develop a character, sometimes a character, they are going to be simplified people. That's just the nitty-gritty of it. You're never going to get a very human character beyond what you see on the page. Oh, her name is Lindis, is it not? So, also, just a side note here, I really like how Fire Emblem does make a good point of showing who's bad and who's good. So you have this gruff 5 o'clock Shadow, or really at this point, like, I don't know, 8 p.m. Shadow. Jeez, dude. And a nice scar over his eye. His colors are all kind of muted, whereas Lyn is very well kept and lots of colors. So yeah, they do show you who is the baddie here, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, so yeah, writing the personalities behind characters can be sometimes using those, like if you haven't heard the INTJ, I'm sorry, the Briggs Myers before, it's that INTJ or the ETFP. It's pretty much they give you 4 letters that are based on your general personality compass. Could be if you're introverted or extroverted. If you're a, it's actually flowing from my mind. I can't remember what all the letters stand for, but it's just a way to map out who you are as a person in terms of your interactions. Like I said, I don't really subscribe to it. I think it's kind of easy to lead people, or it's really based on how you word the questions. Maybe there's some ways to do it that are much more clinical, but if you're doing it in a work setting or just an online quiz on Facebook, I wouldn't say that's the most accurate system. But this book did a pretty good job of just giving you something like 16 or 17 archetypes just to work with that you can base a character. It wasn't written to be a writer's companion, but it's really good for just basing characters off of, especially for when you write a D&D campaign. How do you want your character to interact with others? Maybe you take 4 letters, you just kind of look at the different options you have. Maybe you roleplay as the character that you want to write or be, and you just take the quiz. Take a sample quiz, see where you end up, and then kind of use that as your basis. And then from there, you don't have to follow it exactly, you just kind of work with it. So sorry, I'm a little distracted here, I'm not following the dialogue too much, but pretty much they are saving me from, and Lyn is also saving me from some bandits. We're gonna fight some assholes here. So we're actually getting into some gameplay, which is kind of fun. We are gonna be a little scripted. Okay, can we skip this over real quick? They're just telling me, okay, blue is good, red is bad. That's how to play the game. Okay, cool. Yeah, 'cause I'm rambling on for a while about character design. Come on, Zane. You do this. So I can go up and attack. This is kind of like the last chapter. Just kind of run up. I have a lance, and you can see the arrows are pointing up, down for me, up for him on our weapons. And now we're going to have a long explanation about the weapon triangle, but that's fine. Oh, good job, Zane. He does look heroic, but that's besides the point. So, what was I saying here? Pretty much, you're going to have... Ignore that. I keep doing that. Playing on the Wii U still. You are going to have tropes. It's unavoidable for writing a character or developing a character you want. But that's not the end of the world. It could be using the trope in a way that's maybe unconventional. Maybe this is cliche at this point, but why is the person this trope? There was... I forget the name of the series, but there have been... Well, I guess this has been pretty common. You have like the general tsundere or kudere or yandere, etc. It's like these in anime. You get a lot of these characters where they have very mechanical ways of behaving. I wouldn't say mechanical like a robot, but predictable, I guess you could say. Whereas the tsundere is the kind of character that doesn't ever want to talk to the main character, even though they secretly like them. Be a boy or a girl. But I've seen some interesting ways that this is approached where the character is actively this tsundere because they've been hurt in the past, and then they start to explore that pain. They kind of go deep into what makes this character tick, and that was really interesting to me. Whereas for 20 some odd years, we've seen just this character archetype just slapped onto a character, and that's the character. Please buy merchandise. I wouldn't say it's the end of the world, but it's just something I've noticed that you have options. You're never... I wouldn't say following a trope is the end of the world here. What was I saying again? Oh, right. Oh, Kent, are you gonna go fight? I initially wanted to start this episode talking about board games, and now I'm talking about character design. Yeah, but there's some pretty good resources out there just for developing the psychology behind a character. You can't just say, this is my character, this is what he looks like, and he's me. I mean, what makes you tick? That could be part of the development of your character. We went to PAX. Oop, wrong one. I'm thinking of playing Fire Emblem Heroes. We went to PAX Unplugged recently, which was... it's a board game convention run by Penny Arcade. Disclaimer, Rupeethon, our charity org, the money we raise goes directly to Child's Play, which is PAX's charity org, or their charity, well, just charity, I guess. I can't talk today, it's okay. But they, we don't have any affiliation with them, we just like to go to that convention, or their conventions. Oh, no, Saint. You guys look the same, even though they just notified me who it was. Alright, so we're gonna try this again. But yeah, we went to this really cool panel at PAX, which was talking about Dungeons and Dragons. So PAX Unplugged was for board games specifically. Most PAXs are video games, but this one was just all board games, all tabletop RPG. It was a lot of fun. I can talk about that more next time, but we went to this really cool panel, John and I, and it was just about using D&D as therapy. And it's just, it was amazing how these guys are up there. Just they help a lot of kids to just, if you don't want to talk about something, maybe you work out some details in a D&D campaign in the way you write your character. It doesn't necessarily be that, and they made a point of saying, you don't just sit there and say, okay, your character has alcoholism. Why do they have alcoholism? Like, is this something in your life? No, it's just, it's an outlet. You don't really go forward and acknowledge it, but you work with it, and you help the character to, or you help the player to work through it. You let them develop this character that maybe they're showing things that they wouldn't normally show to people, because this is something that when you make a character, they're kind of a part of you, regardless of who they are. I wouldn't say the guy who developed Sane and Kent had like a two-faced personality where he's both a rigid disciplinarian, is that the word? And a smooth-talking playboy, but... Okay, we can kind of skip over these. I'm taking a long time, I apologize. It's going to be a slightly longer episode than last. But these are going to start getting longer as the levels get longer. Have just kind of rambled for a while. But yeah, this panel was really good for just understanding, even just... Oh my god, I keep doing that. This is not fair. This is... Oh my god. Just let me fight. There we go. Okay. Oh god, Sane, you fucking suck. Pardon my language. Alright, we're gonna wrap this up here. Just kill this one goddamn enemy. So, yeah, writing characters is, I guess, the point of this episode now. How do you write a character, now that we're basing this all entirely on two polar opposites that are apparently best friends? I guess Kent's maybe the tsundere as well. Alright, so we're actually going to branch out here. So please script this a little less now. It's okay. Yeah, there's a lot of chapters in this game. The first, maybe 10 or so have at least some form of tutorial to it, which is, even the 11th, I think, has some sort of tutorial, just teaching you aspects of the game. That's why I really like it for onboarding. It's probably one of the reasons it was really good for the US market, the first time around, because we had never seen Fire Emblem before. And I think, overall, Fire Emblem is much harder in Japan. I think Radiant Dawn, it might have been Radiant Dawn, maybe it was Path of Radiance, which is the Wii and GameCube ones. What a cat I am! Oh boy, I have to save his sorry ass. That's fine. That's fine. Vulnerary, not vulnerary. Gotcha. So, this game, oh no, sorry. Losing my train of thought here. Radiant Dawn, I believe it was just so hard compared to the rest of the Fire Emblem games that came out west because they maybe didn't tune the difficulty down, which I think is cool, but I don't know, we're weak. We're terrible people. We can't play this game well. It's a lot of strategy. It's kind of like how there's a normal mode in Mega Man, the NES games in the US, but there's not a normal mode in Japan is our hard mode, which I enjoy. I am not good at that game. We are not playing that on Rupeethon because I am just absolute garbage at Mega Man. I tried for so many years to play that, and I just, nope. I like platformers, but that game requires some skill. Even normal mode, just not my cup of tea. Alright, let's start to wrap this up, because it's getting to be a long episode. Oh, okay, I get it. Just play the game, it's okay. Thank you, menu. Just like mashing the button here right by the microphone. Alright, press B button, stop trading, okay. And I can use the item. And heal. It's kind of like a bonus action in D&D. And we're full circle again. That's perfect. Okay, come on. Come on, same. Oh, okay. Yes, you're welcome. Thanks, sleeves. Oh my god. Give it a rest, Zane. She's just not interested. Follow the signals. So in this case, I just gotta beat everybody up. Sometimes they make me capture a certain castle. Like last time they said, okay, seize the gate. I don't think... Well, there's only one enemy besides the boss, but in some of those cases, you end up just seizing the gate with some enemies around. That's fine. I like getting all the experience, though, especially because if you go into a later map and you're not really balanced in your characters, especially when there's requirements of who to use, that could be pretty dangerous. Uh-oh. I'm in danger. She'll survive. Alright, let's start to wrap this one up. So Kent's gonna attack again. Gonna kill this guy with a sword. And now it's actually giving me some freedom to fight, which is kind of fun. Good job, Sane. Kent, wait. Kent, sorry. Gonna get those mixed up for a while. The reasonable one, we'll go with that. Alright, cool. Oh, and I could talk about Lynn's sword style for a while. I've been doing Iaido a lot. Iaido is just a sword art with, you draw the sword, it's kind of like Kendo, but you work with a metal blade, usually not sharp, definitely not in my case. And maybe I'll talk about that in the future. But it's just something I really enjoy in this game. Just seeing all the cool animations, especially with like the sword masters that we'll meet later. Alright, so we're gonna wait here. And let this guy come and attack. Let's see what our levels are, by the way, because like I said, I mean, this is early on. It's not too important to vary out your leveling, but when you have the opportunity... Oh, well, not let me. Can I, how do I do that? No, apparently not. I'll have to look that up later. Maybe I can't look at their levels. It's okay. I believe Lynn is like level 2 at this point, and these guys are level 1, so... Maybe we'll have them fight the boss. It's just a good habit to get into. And he's not going to fetch him off anyway, but it's fine. We'll have Sane beat this guy up. Alright. Iron Sword. Using that weapon triangle is my maximum potential. Almost... Oh. He finally got experience. I forgot about that. He only had like 1 experience from all that. And I can't actually reach that guy, so I'll wait here. He's not going to move. Alright, let's give Sane a second chance here. Kick the shit out of this guy. Oh, he is a looker. Alright, and we're gonna wrap up with and beat the crap out of him. Yeah, I spent a long time talking about character design, but next time I'll talk about board games, which we can talk more about PAX, because that was quite an experience for us. Somehow did not get Con Plague, but I'm really excited because I got a lot of good board games from it. And we also had a really cool panel we went to about board game design, which I definitely want to talk about because that is something that stuck with me. Maybe not so much for the advice, but just from the aspects of our fun panelist. And making some people very angry, but it's okay. We beat the enemies. Ooh. Oh, it looked okay on the capture. Okay, that's fine. Screen, not so much. Big TV screen. No. Upscaling does not work here. Alright, so I think for now, we're going to wrap this up and call this an episode. We're going to actually get through all the dialogue here. Maybe. This might be a little bit long. Hang on. We're going to find out something interesting. Uh-oh. Lady Madeline? That sounds familiar. She made Lyn. Oh my god. What does this mean? Does it mean? Is Lyn special? Oh my god, I'm mashing the buttons trying to go through. Dialogue's a little slow. Okay, come on, Sane. You can be concise in your language. Thank you. Oh my god. I remember the smile on his face when he announced that he'd suddenly become a grandfather. Yeah, we get it, buddy. Cool your jets. But he's probably thinking like, and it was the gracious, gracious granddaughter of Lindis. Oh angel, oh beauteous one. Okay, come on, Sane. But this means that Lyn is the granddaughter of the Marquess. Marquis? Okay, something. I'm not good with words. Just pronunciation is not my strong suit, but that's okay. It could be Line for all I know, but to me she's Lyn. Alright, so I think for now, we're gonna call this an episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. Rupeethon is a charity Let's Play and gaming marathon organization. Check us out on Twitch or at rupeethon.org.